There's been a lot of debate on whether you need a heat press or not for your clothing brand. In this video, I'm going to give you the absolute reason why you need heat press technology to be able to fulfill orders for your brand. Keep watching. So let's start with the basics. Heat press technology allows you to print orders on demand, actually to press orders on demand. And that's the most compelling reason why you really need to look at it for fulfilling orders for your clothing line. Now, I'm not saying you need to own the heat press as a part of your business, but whoever you're using to decorate, whether that's yourself or a contract printer, really needs to own a heat press and adopt it as part of the process. When we think about print on demand or print to order, what we think about is having the money or having a better idea of what's going to sell before we commit our cash. The challenge with a startup clothing line especially is we don't have a lot of history on what's going to sell and what's not and how our audience is going to react to what we create. So one of the worst things you can do as a startup clothing brand is go deep into inventory on certain styles. As we go deep into inventory on certain styles, we tie up cash. And so we have a lot of pre-printed pieces, a lot of pre-printed sizes without a lot of orders. This is a recipe for disaster. So I'd highly encourage you to think about heat press technology for print on demand because it's just a better way. We can still have these great ideas, but we can give ourselves better insurance or better flexibility to be able to respond and react. We're making heat transfers, which come in a large variety of different styles that we'll talk through in this video, but those heat transfers are staying separate from the garment. We're not committing it until we are ready to, just when we need it. In an e-commerce environment, that can mean we're grabbing the transfer and matching it to the size and color of the apparel item at the exact time of order, printing on demand or pressing on demand. Or it could mean if we want to run a pop-up shop or we want to go out and show our brand somewhere else in a retail store, we are refilling the retail rack in a little better way. That's a little bit more reactionary retail. That means we're only printing what we need to be able to show it onto the retail floor and then filling those at smaller quantities just when we need it. The advantage of print on demand is well documented, and if you choose heat press technology to fulfill for your brand, whether that's you or a contract printer, it's going to allow you to ideate a lot more, to pivot, to create new styles, create new looks, and only print it exactly when you need it, and that's the smart thing to do with your clothing brand. Now, when we think about other advantages of heat press technology and why you'd want to adopt it for your brand, one of my favorite things is the variety of finishes. Let's be honest, there are only so many finishes you can achieve with embroidered thread or with direct screen printing. Yes, there are some awesome screen printers out there and awesome techniques, but achieving those techniques requires a high learning curve. It's usually pretty challenging, and it's rare that you find all of these special techniques under one contract printer's roof. The benefit of heat press technology is all of the technique, all of the style comes pre-done in a transfer. You can literally be doing 3D puff embroidery finishes onto headwear and other items. You can be doing high stretch results that go onto performance gear or compression gear if you have an athletic or a fitness brand. You can be doing high density looks. You can be doing glitter and puff, and the list goes on and on. Being able to take your brand's logo or message or style to life across a huge variety of finishes with just putting it underneath the heat press with time, temperature, and pressure removes a lot of the risk from the equation and creates a lot more flexibility. So the variety of finishes that you can achieve with a heat press, it's so much better than it ever has been, and it's only growing through the advent of top and bottom heat. I can do a lot of things with a very high quality with different finishes. And that's a super important reason why bringing your brand's aesthetic to life through heat printing makes a lot of sense, printed on demand or when you have the order. Now, let's go a little bit deeper. It's not just the finishes that we're achieving with heat printing that presents a compelling case to use it for your brand, but it's also the product assortment in general. You are able to decorate so many more products. So rather than getting the item, like doing a lot of t-shirts, we are getting the outfit. And that's a huge advantage when you talk about those customers that want to affiliate with your brand and represent what it is that you stand for. They're able to deck that out from head to toe. So let's move beyond the t-shirt. Let's go into a zip-up jacket. Let's go into a fitted cap. Let's go into a hoodie. There are so many different products that you can achieve with the same heat transfer. You don't need to stock a different heat transfer for every type of apparel item. With new heat transfer technology, you're able to take one transfer and apply it with tons of flexibility across a pretty wide product assortment. And not only that, we can vary the logo location. The reality is, and you're probably not an expert on this yet, but screen printers know all of the work in screen printing isn't about how many garments you can get off of the press, the screen printing press, after it's set up. Actually, it's all of the steps that come in front of the press and behind printing of the garments, that's set up and tear down. As you add colors, as you move through different design sizes, or even as you move through different print locations, there is a ton of complexity and often limitations behind what you can do. And that's where all the work and all the cost comes in. We actually have to burn a screen for every color when we're talking about screen printing, unless we have, an advanced screen printing press like a digital squeegee that digitally prints or running 4-color process. We have to burn a screen for every color. We also have to burn a screen if we're varying print location. So that literally means if you take your brand's logo or message and you want to place it, let's just say, on the bottom left of a pair of jogger shorts, and then you want to take that same logo and put it on a back shoulder of a hoodie, or perhaps a sleeve print on a jacket. We would have to set up and have that startup cost of a screen and everything that comes along with setting up the screen to be able to achieve that job. And the huge benefit of heat transfers is I'm working with the transfer as long as I have a versatile heat press where I can load and hit different logo locations, or cap press to hit different product types. Now, very easily, with some quick setup with the right tool for the job, I can vary that logo location. Now, you don't have to understand all of this. The real question is, should you be heat printing in-house, or should you be contracting your heat printing to a decorator? And really, that's a big question around opportunity costs. And I think it's a great discussion point. It's, what do you specialize in? What do you bring to your business? Is it sales and marketing? Is it scaling and growing the brand? If so, and you're a single person shop starting this brand, or a small group of people that want to focus on building the brand and creating that content, I absolutely agree and believe that we should be working with a contract heat printer, or potentially investing in the heat presses and hiring somebody to heat press for us as a part of the business. Just because you don't specialize in it doesn't mean that you can't hire for that job and still keep control. That is going to be up to each individual business and what you want to accomplish. But one of the big reasons why you may want to consider contracting your work versus doing it in-house is absolutely opportunity costs. What could I be doing with that limited resource of time rather than heat pressing? Now, here's the thing you need to understand is heat pressing really doesn't take that long. No, it's not 800 shirts per hour, but it is pretty quick. It doesn't take 5 or 10 minutes per item, as some people are saying out there. The reality is, if you set up with a cap press, you can decorate about 1 cap per minute. If you set up with 2 cap presses instead of 1, you can reduce your downtime, and that single operator can do 1 cap about every 40 seconds. And so there's a lot of opportunity to be able to build scale with heat press to get a high output with your available time. If we're talking about a standard heat press and a normal decoration finish, I'm at similar times where I'm pressing a shirt a minute as I build the appropriate processes, have the appropriate equipment, and the right accessories to be able to do it. And so that really comes into the equation as well. Yes, you can produce items fast with the available time, or your contract printer can, but there is an investment that needs to happen. So do you want to invest in pre-printed blanks and take an inventory position on those? Or do you want to invest in equipment that is more flexible, that will allow you to pivot and move and do different things? And one of the most successful things I've seen with startup clothing brands is that they're able to take on other work to be able to support them in their entrepreneur journey while they're building that brand. And so being able to do custom jobs for local businesses or local teams, being able to grow in other verticals with the equipment that they've invested into. The reality is you're going to pay probably about $5,000 for a setup that I have here. We have something called the Stahls Dream Shop that gives you everything you need to get started with heat printing technology the way we recommend it, and we've been doing this for 91 years. And so With about $5,000, you have the equipment, or your contract decorator has the equipment that they need to be successful, to literally print everything that I'm talking about here on the table. So whether that is custom headwear with dimensional finishes, whether that is high quality finishes onto a t-shirt like you're seeing here, very thin lines, very soft results printed on demand, whether that's a varying logo location like you're seeing on the bottom placement on these joggers, or across a zipper on a performance zip-up jacket, or how about the back of a jacket? Even socks. There are so many items that you can decorate, and it really takes a pretty small footprint, but you do need to invest in learning. And that's where we specialize here on this channel here at Stahls TV. And so if you want to learn, we have a library of videos that teach you how to become a heat press pro. Actually, more than videos, we travel around to different educational conferences and put on what's called a Heat Press Pro Day. So make sure to visit stahls.com. We'll link it down in the description. Click on our events tab and you can see all of the conventions we're traveling to put on that Heat Press Pro Day, to take you from a novice or somebody who really doesn't understand how to decorate. With the videos, with getting in person at a Heat Press Pro Day, we can really be doing super high quality results. And so heat printing is not a lesser technology. That's what I want you to understand. With where heat press is today, it needs to be a service that's available inside of your contract printer. The contract printers that are on the forefront of technology, and I know a lot of them, they're already standing up heat press as a contract decorating service. And what I want you to understand is the top brands that are out there in the market are utilizing heat transfers for all of the reasons I just stated. It doesn't have to be a hobby craft product. Yes, there are hobby crafters that use heat press technology, but it's a little less sophisticated, right? We're talking about some pretty basic vinyls out there, some of them that aren't even the quality of what Stahls is offering from a professional standpoint, and sometimes even irons, and not regulating time, temperature, and pressure accurately with a high quality heat press like we manufacture here at Hotronics. So I thought this was important to present. Heat press as a technology is very important to your clothing brand. You can print on demand. You can achieve more finishes in your brand's logo, and you can start to get the outfit instead of just the item, taking control and being able to grow well into the future. And you know what? If that brand idea doesn't work, I do wish you success, but the reality is a large percentage of brands won't make it. You still have a nice investment in equipment that will allow you to hopefully quit your day job and start a full-time business decorating for a variety of markets. Thanks for watching our channel. Make sure you leave a comment on what you feel about heat press technology with where you're at, and ask any questions. We're here to help you grow your clothing line or your custom apparel decoration business. I say you should do both.